Also, we've got Eminem. In case you're thinking, Candace, that name vaguely rings a bell. Yes, I'm referring to the white rapper that we all used to listen to when we were prepubescent and we wanted to feel edgy. One with the bleach blonde hair, inspired a generation of 14-year-old boys to wear Echo Limited. No? Don't know what I'm talking about still? Not ringing a bell? Okay, he wrote a lot of songs about his baby mama, Kim. 8 Mile, the movie. Yeah, now it's starting to come to you. Well,
man, we know who
apparently
the GOAT is.
Eminem is still releasing music, and guess what, guys? He is edgier than ever.
Cool.
He's written 2 diss tracks that feature me. They're calling him Feminem. They're calling him woke, shady. Here's what I will say about Eminem. I heard the music, and I'm going to take you through the lyrics, and it's become very apparent to me that Eminem is having his Hillary Clinton hot sauce moment.
No more questions? They said no, she has to go.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Are you getting information right now?
That's crazy.
Hot sauce. Hot sauce in my bag, swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Beyonce lyric when asked what she always has in her purse, because obviously isn't working. Who's putting on his best Hillary Clinton 2016 impression? Eminem, in the ultimate pander to Black America. He's just like, please buy my album. So many of them are flopping. I will say anything. What do I have to do? Who do I have to throw under the bus? So he starts by basically, he has got this song, it's called Lucifer. And he obviously throws Kanye under the bus first. He's just like, oh, nobody cares about Kanye anymore, as if anybody even knows where Eminem is. Kanye is still making a lot of headlines. Eminem, on the other hand, is not. But I want to take you through these lyrics because there's a lot happening here.
Shout out,
First thing I want to say is Eminem is obviously a gay man. It's very sad that Eminem cleaned out his closet but never came out of his closet. But let's get to these lyrics. I'll read them to you. He writes, or says, or raps, and Candace O, I ain't mad at her. I ain't gonna throw the fact forgot she was black at her. Oh, laugh at her like them she's backin' after her back is turned in a cute MAGA hat with her brand new White Lives Matter shirt. Haha, nope. Or say this MAGA dirtbag in a skirt just opened the biggest can of worms on the whole planet Earth. Call her Grand Wizard, yeah, Candace, haha, or Grand Dragon, or like the national anthem, I won't stand for the tramp. Why? But I can diss her, because my plans are to get in her pants, and I'll blow my chance if I answer back to her. Oh, but I can't diss her, because his plans are to get in my pants. Ew, you disgust me. Okay, a lot going on here. I think first and foremost, I just would like to again remind people that he is in fact a struggling internally gay man, and so there's a lot happening with Eminem, and we should pray for him.
I'm sorry.
On the second point, the way that we know that is because he's actually recycling things that Black women have said about me on the internet. Like he's pretending this is original, calling me Candace. It's not. This is like he's just recycling the Black women that don't like me on the internet, have a lot of names for me, one of them being Candy O. So he's like watched what they're saying, and I guess someone who was listening to him in the booth was like, yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, drop the beat. They're really going to like that. By the way, there's a second song he also dropped. This one's called Bad One. And the lyrics are this about me. Yeah, this whole subgenre with all these corny white rappers, I'm not a fan of it. It ain't my fault, but like sock puppets, I had a hand in it. This $1,000 in my hand is just like what Candace did when she turned her back on her own race. Because I have abandoned it. Oh my, so cool. That's a tough one. That's so tough. The Black community is going to be going crazy. I don't think that's going to happen at all. Actually, I'm doing this because I want to help him go viral because this is sad. This is very sad. I want you to feel sad for Eminem because this is just not the way for someone's career to go down the drain. And I want us all to do our part to help make Eminem relevant again, at the very least, and he can be relevant just by me speaking about him. He understands that. By the way, I did TMZ earlier. They were asking me, like, you know, in part, though, aren't you honored that someone who is recognized as the greatest white rapper of all time is dedicating all of his time to you? And I said no, because it would have meant something if he was at his prime. As an example, Dave Chappelle, he made a really, honestly, it was kind of a hideous joke about me. I didn't think the joke itself was funny, but I did appreciate the fact that Dave Chappelle, who is the most famous comedian in the entire world at the peak of his career, was mentioning me on stage. Like when he was very sad about George Floyd and he did this whole skit and he said some awful things about me, I did have that moment where I went, wow, Dave Chappelle knows who I am. This is not that with Eminem. He is not at the peak of his career.
Bruh,
He's at the end of it.
chill.
His
She
career
going
should have
hard
ended
on him.
like 15 years ago, and he keeps going. And so this is not a rapper that's at the top. He's actually doing he's going through a strategy that a lot of new rappers do, where they find out who is the big rapper and they start a beef. Right? He's like, oh, nobody knows who I am, so I'm just going to start a beef with Candace Owens. And he's just fading out of the American mindset entirely. So this is what he's come up with. And I want to say this, genuinely, the pander here is pathetic. He's literally making a plea to the public. I hate white people. That's what he's saying. He's calling white people, he's using a slur against his own people, while at the same time, unironically, accusing me of doing what he's doing. He's like, she turned her back on her own race, as he turns his back on his race and calls them, I've never used slurs to describe Black Americans because I don't have an issue with my race, but you very much have an issue with yours. And the other thing is, like, he doesn't even know what his audience is. Again, this feels very maybe could have done something in 2016 when the whole world was, so anti-Trump and it was the George Floyd moment. He doesn't even understand what's happening. I mean, that conversation has broken in the Black community. That's why Trump's numbers are up. Beyond that, I've been on The Breakfast Club. I've done Joe Budden. Like, Black Americans are following this podcast. They actually like me. I went viral on a few of those channels, on Instagram channels the other day because of my conversation with Don Lemon. They're starting to hear what I have been saying, because back in 2016, when I was saying Black Lives Matter was a fraudulent organization, people were not ready to listen to that. But then what happened was they proved that they were a fraudulent organization, and people said, yeah, no, I think Candace may have been trying to tell us that, and she was right, and maybe I need to listen to her rather than listen to what other people are telling me about her. And one of those people that they're not going to listen to is you, Eminem, because you're just so irrelevant. Your music isn't good anymore. And like I said, you're the one that's actually cosplaying a race that you aren't. You're desperate for Black Americans to pick up your tracks because you abandoned the audience of a lot of people who were listening to your music. I'm a trailer park, and then what did you do? You dunked on, from the trailer park, you dunked on actually an entire middle class of white people who loved your music. You dunked on people in the country. For what reason? For what reason other than you misread the room? And the reason that you misread the room, rather, is because what's actually happened to Eminem is he's an out-of-touch elitist. He is. This is what happens. He is now a lefty elitist. He belongs on a campaign trail with Hillary Clinton when she runs for the third or fourth time. That's what he should be doing, because he's pretending to know anything about what's going on. The reality is that a lot of those people in the country that he doesn't like, take it from me, I moved to Tennessee, have a lot more in common with the people that he's trying to appeal to. I think he thinks he's appealing to, the hood. They have a lot more in common because these are regular people who are suffering in different but similar ways, who recognize that the economy is not good, and an Eminem track is not going to make it better. Here's the last thing I want to say about Eminem. He is a lesson to a lot of people out there that you need to know when it's time for you to retire. You don't want to retire on this note, right?
Shit.
Eminem is 51 years old. He has not modified his brand at all. He's
You
not
retire
gone out.
at 60,
Most
girl.
people know that you do have to evolve your brand, right? You can even see this as just one example. Miley Cyrus, like in 2016 or maybe a little bit before, she was like shaking her butt. We can't stop twerking. And now she's cleaning it up and she's singing music that's still catchy, but it's not so crass. And she's actually giving interviews saying that, this is who I was because I wanted to break out of the Disney shell, and this is who I am, and this is where I'm going. And I don't think she gets it right all the time, but I can at least recognize that she's evolving. Eminem's not evolving. He still thinks that he's a 13-year-old boy who is rapping in his room, and that somehow people are going to find that appealing, when in reality, he's 51 years old. His daughter, or maybe he's older than 51, his daughter has just gotten married, which means that Eminem should be behaving more like a potential grandparent. He's granddad. This is granddad shit, you know what I mean? But granddad is not acting like a granddad. And I'm going to need granddad to start acting like a granddad and not producing this trash to pander to the Black community. That's what I want to say on that point. Now, speaking...
Dang, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I've been an Eminem fan since a youngin', man. Like a real fan. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna be biased. We're gonna keep it 100. I feel like maybe she taking it a little too personal. Since she said she was a fan of him in the past as well, then she should know that he been name dropping people. He been name dropping. She just happened to be the one he name dropped. Me, I feel like it's entertainment purposes only. Him saying he want to get in her opinion, that's like a little compliment. Yeah, I think that's just a little compliment. I feel like if they had a conversation on the phone or whatever in person, it would probably be a better understanding. They can probably, get each other better. But y'all comment down below what y'all think. I don't think what he said was too bad. I really don't. I don't think it tarnished her image or nothing like that. I do feel like she wrong by saying he irrelevant. Eminem still get millions of views, probably millions of streams. Like, it's people definitely checking on him versus somebody in the early 2000s that nobody even checked. So he hasn't fallen off. He's still in topic of discussion. Yes, times has changed. Music has changed. Overall, I haven't listened to the whole album yet. I heard probably about 5 or 6 songs, but I'm not disappointed. I'm satisfied with what I heard. Only because I feel like this is the album that people been waiting for, bro. When I listen to it, it made me have flashbacks of my, younger days with some of his songs, and he saying something he did or a certain cadence, a certain flow, certain whatever. It just remind you of the Slim Shady, So I think that's hard. I think that's really hard. I'm about to go check it out. I know a lot of people probably don't like it or don't like Eminem. I I like it. I like it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I actually do like it. I feel like it's perfect for this time. She said it would have been better like in 2016. Nah, I don't think it would have made it in 2016. Y'all know that was what Lil Uzi, Lil Yachty, Famous Deck, Kodak, Trippie Redd. That's Playboy Cardi. That's they era. So that type of music during that time, I don't think we weren't ready for it. But now since it's 2024, everybody music sound the same. Everybody on some drill stuff. Everybody on the same type of wave. I feel like Eminem dropping right now is perfect because now we get to hear something a little different. Simple. It's your boy Kelvin, man. Y'all comment down below how y'all feel. I'm not trying to bash her, bro. I know some people gonna bash her, but I'm not bashing nobody. I'm not bashing her or Eminem. I don't know. I feel like she just need to talk to him, man. Your people hit his people hit your people. Somebody need to have a conversation, man. I feel like it ain't that deep where it can't be solved. I don't feel like he disrespected her to the point where like it's some beef, So that's just my opinion. I may be wrong. Comment down below if I'm wrong. I ain't perfect, so it's okay for me to be wrong. Y'all comment down below how y'all feel about the situation. All right.